This is Mike Toyer with a critique of a drawing by Chuck. I made a photocopy of Chuck's drawing and I taped it to my drawing board. First thing I can tell by looking at this photocopy, Chuck's drawing, is that it has a good eye for perspective. By that I mean if I take and connect these lines of the frames here, I'm going to use an unsharpened pencil, and lay it on the line of the bridge of this frame. This is the same pencil but with a point. And then go further and lay a pencil along the line here, same pencil with a blunt tip with two pencil extenders on the end. And connect those points. I can see the lines converge up and to the left to a vanishing point at the far left horizon. And when you do that, you create a sense of depth as these glasses are going off to the left in linear perspective. Very good job. The only thing I would suggest has to do with shading. And I would treat the background, the table that these glasses are laying on, as an object to be shaded. So I'm going to spin my board, and with the light source coming from here and casting the shadow that way, I'm going to plant my hand and I'm going to start shading the table. Darkest further away from the glasses, further away from the light source at the bottom left corner, and lighter as we approach the light source, top right. You make that change gradual. This arced line that I'm creating by keeping my hand planted and pivoting here, it's up to you whether you want to hatch that way. These pencil lines are called hatches when they're put together to create a tone. You can try to make it perfectly straight by leaving your hand up in the air and going. That's difficult. You can also try cross-hatching by coming back and going over these arced lines perpendicularly like this, crossing the hatch marks. It's easy, and I think this serves the purpose even better to go from one point and shade across, coming gradually up lighter and lighter to the light source. If you wanted to protect this drawing before you did that, so that you could not smudge the pencil lines of the glasses anywhere, you could spray it. I do that often. I would have sprayed this drawing thoroughly, let it dry completely per the instructions, and I could then go back, like it's possible with this photocopy, and erase where I've drawn the background lines. See how they made the shadow lighter there, the temple shadow? But it wouldn't upset the drawing that I had done in the first place. I'm going to return that shadow because I like it. I want these shadows of the temple to fade into the shadow that I put onto the table. The only other thing for shading I would recommend with this is that there's going to be some reflection or refraction in the lenses. So the glass lenses, although they're clear, they're going to show something at least from the background that's probably over here. I'm going to make it up. But if you were going to draw a pair of glasses, you have to pay very close attention to what's in your environment and what's being reflected or refracted in the lenses. I'm going to also assume that this lens further from the light source is going to be a little darker in its refraction and reflection. So I'm going to make a little more of a shadow in here than I am in the lens on the left side. And I don't want to see any hatch marks because glass is perfectly smooth. And instead I'm going to blend those hatch marks together. And I'm going to create a little reflection line maybe because glass does that sometimes. I'm also going to erase the shading I did on the table here. because lenses will often cast a light instead of a shadow. Then I'm going to clean up these edges of the shading I did on the table. You'll notice how I spin my board. Makes it easy for me to reach things with my right hand instead of reaching over the drawing. It's always a good idea to put your drawing on a drawing board. And there you go. Overall, I say Chuck did a good job.